Greetings, sports fans. Welcome to my Dadgum Sports Channel. Apparently, it's dinner time at my Dadgum Sports Channel. It's been a minute since I posted a video, but figured tonight was as good a night as any, and I want to say my prayers go out to the Bryant family. Everybody knows the news of Kobe and his 13-year-old daughter dying in a helicopter crash. That's very tragic, but that's not what I'm going to touch on. But I really hope that God brings his family through this difficult time, and that they lean on him for support and guidance. With Black History Month coming up, I have decided that I'm going to. Y'all got to join me for dinner too, by the way. I will be munching on my groceries. Got some beans and some macaroni and cheese and cornbread. But that's not part of the video either. Anyway, with us standing on the doorsteps of Black History Month, why we only get 1 month for Black History, I don't know, but it is what it is. I'm going to pay tribute to some Georgia athletes of color. And every video I do this month, leading up into February, and the whole month of February, is going to pay tribute to a black athlete that played at the University of Georgia. And we're going to start this run off with someone you may have heard of, you may not have heard of. The guy that wore number 34, University of Georgia, a guy by the name of Herschel Walker. Like I said, you may know him, you may not know him. But he is considered, by many, myself included, one of the greatest athletes to ever put on the silver breeches. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about his life. Not his entire life, but we're going to go through some of it. The early years, he was born in Augusta, Georgia. And he was raised in Wrightsville, Georgia, and he was one of 7 kids. And he said when he was a kid, he was overweight and had a speech impediment. But his mother instilled in him that he was not going to use that or those problems to be excuses in his life. So he attended Johnson County High School in Wrightsville, where he played football, basketball, and competed in track. He played for the Johnson County Trojans high school football team from 76 to 79 in his senior year. 1 year, his senior year, he rushed for 3,167 yards, helping the Trojans to win their first state championship. He was awarded the first Dial Award in 1979 as a 1979 National High School Scholar Athlete. So not just an athlete, a scholar athlete. On July 4th of 2017, during the Wrightsville annual 4th of July celebration, Trojan Way, the street where Johnson County High School resides, was officially renamed Herschel Walker Drive. So that's a big event that they paid tribute to someone that helped them get recognized. He was also a standout athlete in track and field. He competed track and field team events ranging from the 100-yard dash to the shot put. He won shot put, 100-yard dash, 220-yard dash in Georgia High School Class A state championship. And he also anchored the 4x4 100-meter relay team to a victory that same year. He also competed in track and field at Georgia, but we'll get to that in a minute. After graduating his high school as a valedictorian, he played running back at the University of Georgia, where he was named All-American team 3 times, both football and track. In 1982, he won the Heisman Trophy and the Maxwell Award. He is the only player in NCAA history to finish in the top 3 in Heisman voting, all 3 of his collegiate seasons. He's the only NCAA player who played only 3 years and finished in top 10 all-time rushing yards. During his freshman season in 1980, he set the NCAA freshman rushing record and finished 3rd in the Heisman Trophy voting. And he was the first ever true freshman voted to the All-American team. He 1980 was freshman year, and he helped play a major role in helping Georgia stay undefeated that year. As the year we beat Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. He also won the Heisman. He won the Heisman 2 years later, and in 1999, he was elected to the College Football Hall of Fame. He's also considered one of college football's greatest players. I'm going to run through his 1980 season. Probably the season most people remember anyway, honestly. At the beginning of the season, well, actually before the season started, he was listed as 6'2", 222-pound running back. He was the most sought-after running back in high school, every college campus in the country. He signed his national letter of intent to play at Georgia on Easter Sunday, which was April 6th of 1980. That season began with sophomore Carney Norris starting ahead of Walker at tailback. Bulldogs, this is a game everybody remembers about Herschel Walker. They were playing University of Tennessee on September the 6th in Knoxville. Tennessee jumped out to an early 9-0 lead early in the second quarter. Vince Dooley looked at the offensive coordinator and said, "I'm putting Herschel in. Don't be afraid to give him the ball." And the rest was history. Tennessee held a 15-2 advantage late in the third quarter when Walker changed the momentum of the game. Late in the third quarter, Walker scored on a 16-yard counter play where he ran over the safety and his future teammate, Dallas Cowboy teammate Bill Bates, right at the goal line. He scored again 5 minutes later on a 9-yard touchdown run, and Georgia went on to win the game 16-15. And if you do the math, 15-2, add 2 touchdowns in from Herschel Walker. 2 plus 14, 16. 16-15, Herschel Walker single-handedly won that game. It was a week later. They faced Texas A&M at home. Walker ran 21 times, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bulldogs pretty much handled that game from the start, jumping up to a 28-0 lead by halftime. In the games that followed, Georgia went out to start off that season a 6-0 record because they knocked off Clemson, they knocked off Texas Christian, they knocked off Ole Miss, and they knocked off Vanderbilt. Walker ran for 121 yards against Clemson, 69 more against TCU, including a 41-yard run. He missed much of the Ole Miss game with an injury. In the Vandy game, October 18th, Walker had 23 carries for a career-high 283 yards, scoring on long touchdown runs of 60, 48, and 53 yards. Wow. Just wow. 2 weekends that followed wasn't much of a rushing attack for Georgia because it was special teams and defense that helped push them past Kentucky and South Carolina. But Walker did run for a 76-yard touchdown against the Gamecocks that game. On November 15th that year, they clinched the SEC championship by taking out Auburn on the road with 31-21 win. Walker did most of the work, rushing 27 times for 84 yards, including an 18-yard touchdown, and 2 weeks later, he ended the regular season with an exclamation point by scoring on touchdown runs of 123 and 65 yards as Georgia defeated those daggum Yellow Jackets. Bulldogs ranked number 1 at 11-0. They were invited to play traditional football power. Coach Dan Devine's Notre Dame Fighting Irish. January 1st, 1981, Walker, who suffered a dislocated shoulder very early in the game, managed to rush 36 times for 150 yards, including the longest run of 23 yards. Score tied 3-3. Notre Dame failed to properly field a kickoff. 2 plays later, Walker dove over the top for a 1-yard touchdown, give UGA a 10-3 lead. Ended up going on winning the game 17-10 for Georgia's second national championship. A lot of people only recognize him only having one. But if you look back at 1947 when Frank Sinkwich won the Heisman Trophy, also a Georgia Bulldog, we claimed the national championship game that year. That was Herschel Walker's freshman year. He only played 2 more years and then went on to play in the USFL and then had a prominent career in the NFL. But when talking about some of the greatest black athletes to put on the silver britches, if you do not have Herschel Walker at the top of that list, then you don't know Georgia football. So we're going to end the video there. Herschel Walker, thank you for the memories. Like, share, subscribe. If you don't like, share, subscribe. If you want to comment, comment. If you don't want to comment, that's fine too. We're going to do some more of these videos, and by the end of February, we're going to know all of Georgia's black athletes. All of them. So have a good day.